audio, about video, about many things we have discussed, right? And today again, I want to discuss with you about the um, video compression, video quality, video fundamentals. Okay, so let everybody join in and then we'll start. Okay, Priyanshu, just send a message across that quickly join because um, we have to discuss a lot. Okay, so I'm giving you 2 minutes because still there are 3 minutes left. Quickly send the message that join here. One more thing is there that today you have a session after 1:30, so that also you all have to join. Okay, is it audible? Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, okay. By the time just tell everybody that 9:10 means 9:10. They have to be here by 9:10 because after 9:10 I'll not allow anybody in the class. That's for sure. I'll not allow anybody in the class. Okay. Sometimes
Yes,
because you
ma'am.
say that there is some problem because of monsoon and all, the light is not there. So actually I was allowing you all, but try to maintain punctuality and just be here uh, as the class begins. So you should be before the class. You should be in the classroom before the class begins, right? So okay, so today's topic is about video. I'm just opening my PPT, sharing it with you. By the time, please send the message across that quickly join. Still 2 minutes are left. Ask them to join. Okay. What about yesterday's assignment? I gave you some assignment, no? About that, you have to click the photograph and you have to convert it to different. Have you seen that? Have you done that, everybody? Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you show me that, what you have done? Quickly, by the time these people are joining, please share your screen and show me what you have done. Priyanshu?
ओके मैम, दिखाता है.
Okay. Yes, Priyanshu, are you showing me the assignment? Saloni, have you done the assignment? Pratiksha, have you done the assignment? Kunal, have you done the assignment? I gave you one assignment yesterday. Sujit, what about you? Yes, all of you, please unmute yourself and give me the answer. Am I audible to you all?
मैम मैं कल नहीं आया था मैम, ज्वाइन नहीं हुआ था मैम, मुझे पता नहीं है.
अच्छा. Okay, mute yourself, mute yourself, mute yourself. But that's a very bad answer. If you were not there, then you should have asked somebody, no? What was there in the class? And otherwise, or you can always check out Vixie. You have the diploma YouTube channel. There are so many lessons, tutorials for you where you can check any lesson. Okay, so that you can easily check. Priyanshu, are you showing or should I share?
यस
You
यस
were,
मैम शो कर रहा है मैम 3 टाइप का
हाँ
फोटो है वो शो कर रहा
हाँ, ठीक है, शो कीजिए.
है मैम शो हो रहा है
Hmm. हाँ, yes, it's visible. हाँ, दिखाएं what changes you've made.
मैम ये 3 इमेज 3 फॉर्मेट का है एक ही इमेज को मैम इसको 3 फॉर्मेट हो जाना चाहिए जैसे ये इसमें लिख रहा है GIF है मैम ये पहला इमेज
ठीक है, ठीक है. नहीं, आप इसे ओपन करें, फाइल को ओपन करें, बिकॉज ऐसे डिफरेंस पता नहीं चलेगा. पहले आप फाइल को ओपन करें. ओपन द फाइल. फाइल मीन्स द पिक्चर. ओपन द पिक्चर. हाँ
मैम अभी GIF में तो इसमें नहीं लगा हुआ ऐसा कुछ
हाँ, आपको इतना डिफरेंस पता नहीं चला. ओके, ठीक है.
GIF में
बाकी
मूवमेंट होता है मैम ये मूवमेंट वाला इसमें नहीं ऐड किया है
अच्छा, आप इसे ओपन करें, थोड़ा डिफरेंस पता चलेगा.
यस GIF ओपन कर दिया
हम्म.
दूसरा ओपन करता
नहीं, मगर दिख नहीं रहा, वो यहाँ स्क्रीन पे नहीं नजर आ रहा है. इट्स नॉट विजिबल. Okay, chalo, do one thing. Send me on my mail and I will check it later. Okay, right now. Let me share the screen with you. Okay. This PPT is visible to you all? Is it visible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today we'll be learning about video compressions. We have done last exercise that, it makes a lot of difference if a photograph or the image is clicked using, different type of cameras. So it really makes a lot of difference if you are clicking a photograph with the a camera infrared, or maybe it has been shot in different modes, so it makes a difference that we have seen. Okay, now today we'll be talking about video compression. Now please, dear students, please look at this picture, and now I'll not allow anybody. Now look at this picture, look at this video, rather I should say. Now since as you can see, two pictures. One is the previous frame which it is showing, and one is the next frame which it is showing. Now all of you know that whenever we compress digital video, then what happens is that the frames, I will not repeat because this I have already explained you that how the video is prepared, and you also have done it. You have used Artonix, you have used Flash, and you have seen that frame by frame when you keep putting the pictures in a certain uh, order, and then if you try to change each frame, if you keep making some changes in the frame, then you see that you feel or you have a feel of a motion or movement that we have already understood. Now When you compress a digital video, so in this picture, this is the previous frame and this one is the current frame which you are which you can see. Okay, now someone has come. Let me see who is this person. Okay, so now as you can see that these particular frames, when we compress, they exploit spatial redundancy within the frame. Like just now you were trying to show me that, ma'am, this is my JPEG image. So JPEG, when you transform, or you can say when you quantize, then you use variable length coding. Okay, and you exploit temporal redundancy between frame. And now you see in both of these frames, ध्यान दीजिएगा, खुशी सूरज सूरज बताएंगे मुझे, सूरज दोनों में क्या फर्क आपको दिखाई दे रहा है? दोनों में क्या फर्क आपको दिखाई दे रहा है? दोनों पिक्चर्स को अगर देखें तो आपको क्या फर्क दिखाई दे रहा है? सूरज, हेलो, नेहा, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
इन दोनों भाई बहुत
मैम
मुश्किल सवाल
क्वालिटी
थोड़ी पूछा है। इन दोनों पिक्चर्स में फर्क क्या है? क्या फर्क है बताइए?
मैम
बहुत
क्वालिटी का
इजी
फर्क है थोड़ा सा।
क्वालिटी का फर्क है। और कोई फर्क दिखाई दे रहा है आपको?
मैम सन का पोजीशन
हेलो
चेंज है दोनों में।
बिल्कुल, पीपीटी पढ़ भी सकते हैं आप लोग, उसमें लिखा हुआ है ओनली द सन हैज चेंज पोजीशन बिटवीन दीज टू फ्रेम्स, रेस्ट एवरीथिंग इज स्टेशनरी एंड दीज टू फ्रेम्स, और वो रेड कलर में भी अलग से आपको दिख रहा है। सो व्हेन यू एक्चुअली exploit the spatial redundancy within, spatial मतलब क्या होता है? Space, like this. And when you do temporal redundancy between frame, the sun has changed the position between the two frames. So आप ये देख रहे हैं कि इसकी position change हो रही है बहुत minutely। अगर आप देखेंगे, mute yourself now. So what happens is when we try to convert, as you know, the videos are made up of frames. Hello, प्लीज म्यूट कर
यस मैम।
लीजिए, म्यूट कर लीजिए आप अपने आप को। हाँ, तो अब आप देखिए जो इसका जीरो, बहुत ध्यान से समझना है बच्चों इसको। जो फ्रेम जीरो है वो आपकी स्टिल इमेज है, पहली इमेज है। नाउ द डिफरेंस फ्रेम्स कौन सा होगा? 0 से 1। तो डिफरेंस फ्रेम क्या होगा? फ्रेम 1 माइनस फ्रेम 0। So difference frame 1 will be calculated like this, 0 to 1 when it is jumping. Clear? Now let's talk about difference frame 2. When we will calculate difference frame 2, then frame 2 minus frame 1. Now, if there is no movement in the scene, then all difference frames are 0. If there is no movement in the scene, then all the difference frames will be 0. So the resultant will be 0. And you can compress it, greatly. Fine. Now, if you see the movement, then you can see the difference frame also, the different values also will be there. This thing is clear to everyone? Now, this type of method is called simplest temporal coding. Okay. Now, difference frames between two frames, if there is a difference, what it is caused by? It is caused by, number one, camera motion. Camera motion means the outline of the background or the stationary objects can be seen in different image. Object motion, the outline of moving object can be seen in different image, difference image. The illumination changes, sun rising, headlights, etc. Just now you have seen. The scene cuts, lot of stuff in the difference images there, and you experience noise also. Now, if the only difference between two frame is noise, means some sound is coming, shik, 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 or any kind of a sound you hear, some kind of a noise you hear, but then everything, all the frames are stationary. Then you actually won't recognize the difference image because only the noise is there, but nothing is moving. Now, if you can see something in difference image and recognize it, there is a correlation in the difference image. So now the goal, now what actually we are going to do, we have to remove the correlation by compensating for the motion. Okay, we have to remove this correlation by compensating for the motion. Okay, now look at this picture. Can you identify what is happening in this picture? What this picture is all about? This picture is of a big ship, which you can say, rather port, and port is there, right? Now you see this picture. See the previous one. Now you see the next one. Now you see the next one. Anything visible? Anything visible here? No, nothing is visible here. See, again, check out. This was first one. This was second one. This is third one. So the what type of motion or what type of movement is happening, that we have to find out. That whenever we are working with videos, then we have to find out that what type of motions are happening, right? So now in this particular slide, as you can see, some frames are given there, okay? Some and one block and one round circle in blue color is visible. Now, when something is moving, okay, when some object is moving, so what is happening? Your camera, either see two things are there. Your camera is moving and your object is also moving. When you click the video, what happened? You are stationary and things are moving in front of the movie that you are capturing. A lot of movement is happening there, okay? Now you are moving, I mean, with your camera, you are moving and the objects are also moving. This is also possible, right? Now, let us see what is happening here. First frame, as you can see, just observe. What happens in n+1 frame? This, cube is somewhere else and this round circle is somewhere else. Just go to the rotation thing. If it is rotating, so it begins from where? It is beginning. And you can see rotation, and if you zoom it, then you'll find that how it is moving. So whenever the rotation happens, it happens on their own axis. That means rotation in the sense of camera versus object rotation. I think you know very well. You actually capture a lot of movies. You make movies for your family functions. Have you done that? Yes? You make your own, you click your own pictures also. Yes or no? Hello? Yes. So, okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am. Yes,
later
ma'am.
on, what we
Yes,
do is
ma'am.
zoom in and zoom out also we have seen, right? So the camera zoom versus object zoom, two different things. You are zooming, you are giving focus to some object, or the object is coming closer or maybe moving closer to the camera, or maybe coming into the zoom. Now these are two things which you have to understand. I think these types of motions you understand very much. Okay, now let us, what we are discussing and why we are discussing, what is the point in in discussing all these types of motions. Because when we come for describing motion, we tend to understand that there are different type of motions. Number one is the translational. Translational means the object moves from xy to x plus dx or y plus dy, right? We try to talk about rotation, then we know that it is either moving clockwise or it is moving anti-clockwise, right? When we come to zoom, so that means it moves in and out. So sometimes it is decreasing in the size and sometimes it is increasing in the size. Now, if I have to ask you one question, that which one would you find easiest, what will be your answer? And which are we most likely to encounter? Yes, anyone? which motion you find very easy? Or maybe let's say if you are a videographer, if you are shooting some video, which one would be easiest for you? Like
Ma'am, zooming.
zooming.
Zooming, ma'am.
Zooming. Okay. Okay. Fine. So we'll come back to your you said zooming. I'll come back to you for the explanation on this. Okay. So I'm keeping in this mind that you're saying zooming is the movement that you find easy. Okay. Now determining the parameters for the motion descriptions, some portion of the frame estimates its movement between two frames to the current frame and the reference frame. So now you can see that the frames are moving from first frame to second frame to second frame. We are finding the difference frame by subtracting the previous frame to the current frame. This is how we are calculating. Now the question comes, what is the what is some portion? When we say for some portion of the frame, it estimates its movement between two frames, the current frame and the reference frame. So how much portion is there? We say how we will find out that how will we estimate about the motion. Okay, so what are the things that we have to look into, or what are the parameters that we have to check? So number one parameter is the pixel. All of us know about pixel. Is there anybody who does not know about pixels? Yes, it is the whole screen is made up of pixels, right? The whole screen of your computer monitor is made up of small tiny dots. They are called pixels, right? Then comes the lines and edges, right? Now again, that can be the deciding factor. You can see that objects. So objects must define them, that what the objects are, and uniform regions. Okay. Uniform regions, that again is the another thing which we'll be using for the estimation. Okay. Now, take the general idea. See, this is the search window. Now, as you can see, this is the current frame. Now, this one is the portion of interest which you are checking in. So now, if I go further, look at this picture. Look at this picture. I think pictures tell you more about how this thing's been captured, or maybe it's easy for you to understand that how actually we understand the motion, or how actually we estimate the motion. ठीक है, जैसे अभी आपने कहा था कि जो सन था उसकी लोकेशन वो थोड़ा सा हमें अलग दिख रहा था दोनों पिक्चर्स में. That means the sun was moving that time, and the frame is telling the story that sun has moved. So sun has moved means there is some motion. There was some motion in the frame, right? Now check out this picture. This one is the current frame, right side. T2 is the current frame and T1 is the reference frame. Now you can see. Now you can see. If I have to find out, or if I have to estimate how much it has been moved, can you see the cloud? Can you see the cloud? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Cloud.
ma'am.
Okay.
And
So now,
cloud is moving.
now if you have to find out, what will you do? In the search window, you actually can design this kind of you can see, it is PC, it is a block of pixels that in the current frame. Now this pixels, it's been enlarged, as you can see, is the frame, and there is a kind of a reference frame which is generated in T1. Can you see this side? So T1, the frame is generated, and finally we find that, okay, this frame, this is the current frame and this is the reference frame. Finally, we can actually identify that how much motion is been taking place. I hope this thing is clear. Okay, now let's talk about what are other things which can be helpful in defining. So they are motion vectors. Now motion vectors describe the offset between the location of the block being coded in the current frame and the location of the best match block in the reference frame. So as you can see, right hand side, this is the current frame. and left hand side, this is the reference frame. So now if I have to find out, see, current frame telling me this story, and this is the reference frame. So that means, I can find out that how much it has been moved. So the cloud is moving away from the sun, right? So how much is it is moved, or what actually is the movement, how it is, gradually it is moving, how much space it is occupying, how much, what is the speed, that all can be measured with the help of these things. See, I know that these terminologies are very important, and that is why I'm giving you, so that whenever you are working on some kind of a video project, then you should not behave as as an amateur. Your details of a video should be such exact and correct, that nobody can find a small mistake, that okay, this particular frame is like this and the second frame is like this. You yourself can identify that that the movement which is happening in the video, or the frames that they are changing, they should change like this. And when you have this kind of a knowledge, then only you can see, you can identify, you can calculate, you can estimate. And that is the purpose of taking this particular topic, video, into such a depth. I hope you understand. Yes. Okay, now let's see. If the previous picture which you have seen, if I have to represent that particular block in this type of a block, okay, so these blocks being predicted, and these are let's say this one is the right hand side is the current grid, if I can say current picture. So it has been divided into 16 blocks, as you can see. Now let's see that if anything is moving here and there, so what will happen in the reference block, their position will be somewhere, it will be shuffled somewhere here and there. Can you understand? So the they're used for prediction. The blocks used for predictions. Yes or no? Can you predict if they are moving here and there?
Yes, ma'am.
So the blocks being predicted are on the grid. They are already on the grid. So agar aap is picture ko check out this picture. If I divide, because already the lines are given there. So if I divide this, so we can divide one picture. This is one frame. One frame, and I have divided into 16 blocks. So we can understand that this is how we can measure. So I'm skipping this one slide, coming to directly this one slide. Now you can see, if you want to search particular what you call image, or particular position of a particular block. So because in this particular search window, they will be moving, and it is the representation of the left one. Okay, so if you are performing the search, there are different type of search. So you can evaluate the position in the search window. Now the dimension of the windows are given here, and now you can perform logarithmic search. Then what you will do, you can first examine the position, that what do you want to search, where do you want to search. And as you can see in the current frame, right hand frame, see these been marked 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 3 3 3 2 2. See, the numbers are given there. Okay, then what you'll do, you'll choose the best of these and examine the position which is marked in 3, and then final result will be best of these. So you'll be choosing best of these. This is how motion vector search happens. I'm just taking an overview, not going deeply into it, but you must have some idea about these all terminology. That is the purpose of taking this. I hope you understand. Slide is not moving. Okay. Okay. Now, if I want to do some kind of a hierarchical motion estimation, then we can use averaging filter on the image, and then we can downsample by a factor of 2. We can conduct a search on the downsample image. That also 1/4 of the size can be done. Now, given the result of the search on the downsample image, we can return to the full resolution image, and finally we can refine the search there. Okay, so that is what we can do when we are working on the video. Now, coming to the how standards specify. So the standard do not specify how the encoder will find the motion vector. So the encoder can be exhaustive, it can do fast search, etc., etc. Error matrix can be there, but what decoder does is to grab the indicated block from reference frame, and then it pasted where it has to be. So, and what encoder is doing, what standards do not define, but one decoder, when it comes to decoder, then the decoder, it actually takes it to this right place. I think you are working with the network security, you are learning network security also. And there also, I think you are learning about that how a particular, uh, you can say, word or particular phrase can be converted uh, using techniques, compression techniques and otherwise, and coding and decoding can happen. First of all, you'll code, you'll encode, and you'll decode. That happens. Means you are writing something, you are writing the letters, and which actually, it's like A, B, B, B kind of. And when you are converting, then it becomes meaningful. So, again, as you are learning in security, same kind of a thing happening, that you're finding an encoder which is doing this, and there is a decoder which actually taking it to the indicated block and then gluing it in the place. So what happens with us? See, this is one video compression standards that defines syntax and semantics for the bit stream between encoder and decoder. So this is what the encoder and decoder block diagram, which you can see here. Encoder is not specified by MPEG except that it produces a compliant bit stream. Now, compliant decoder must interpret all legal MPEG bit stream. This allows future encoders to better perform to maintain compatible with existing decoders. Now, just please tell me, as Priyanshu, you have done that, you have converted the GIF image, right? Yeah, sorry, you have converted the JPEG image to GIF image, right? And then you have tried to convert it. So while you were converting, what you were using, how you were converting it? Are you using some kind of a decoder for that?
No, ma'am, converter, ma'am.
That
Converter
is what.
applications.
हाँ, so you are using some converter ना, मगर वो converter होता क्या है? How that converter performs? That's what we are talking about here. So the standard is, it does not define. It depends on the encoder, which is बहुत सारी sites हैं. We are not, as some end user, or let's say as a layman, है ना, मुझे नहीं पता कि ये क्या होता है क्या नहीं होता. मुझे सिर्फ ये पता है कि मुझे एक फॉर्म के अंदर एक पिक्चर लगाना है जिसका एक्सटेंशन जो है वो GIF होना चाहिए. मुझे इतना पता है. अब मैंने गूगल में सर्च किया और मैंने ये कहा कि मुझे इसको कन्वर्ट कर दो, मुझे इसको GIF में कन्वर्ट कर दो. तो मुझे नहीं मालूम है कि वो कौन सा एल्गोरिथम यूज कर रहे हैं, मुझे नहीं पता वो कौन सा उसको डिकोड करने का यूज कर रहे हैं, पर वो हो गया. ठीक है, और वो मुझे मिल गया. मेरा कंसर्न कितना हुआ कि मेरा काम हो गया. यही होता है ना आपका कंसर्न कि आपका काम हो गया. लेकिन एज अ कंप्यूटर साइंस स्टूडेंट, you must know that what you are doing, how it has been converted, what is happening inside, how the bit stream is converting, how the estimation of the picture has been done, what are the various methods by which it can be done. It is completely technical. But for a non-technical person, ये ठीक है कि एक पिक्चर को ले गए, उसको अपलोड कर दिया, फ्री यूटिलिटी है, क्या हुआ हमें नहीं पता. But for a technical person, it is very, very much very much essential to understand that how it has been happening. Okay, so now as some encoders are given here, right? 1, 2, 3. Let's say the name is today's Ho Hum encoder, maybe any name, maybe tomorrow's Nifty encoder, any encoder, maybe very secret encoder. Names are there, can be any name. Maybe Priyanshu encoder, it can be any name. And these encoders are again decoding, and it's still working. But how they were doing it, that depends to the utility, that the encoder that we are using. Okay, now as you can see the motion compensation example. Okay, now you can see the pictures. This is frame n minus 1, this is frame n, and this is motion compensated n. Okay, you can see the frame n. Now if you have to define it in the matrix, अगर आप इसको grid की तरह से देखें, so I hope you can understand that how much it is important to learn. Again, I'm connecting the dots. I will be connecting everything because when I was teaching you arrays in C++, right? Then I was teaching you that rows and columns are very important, and you have to understand this is row and this is column. My dear students, if you see any of your subject, let's talk about the multimedia, desktop publishing multimedia. If you are talking about the screen, you are talking about the rows and columns. If you want to modify some kind of a movie, some kind of a picture, then what is the thing that you need to know? You need to understand again the arrays, you need to understand the vectors, you need to understand all. So any knowledge, any basic knowledge that you are getting is never go in vain. Whatever you are learning, again, that is the thing which will apply to all different levels and all different technologies. Do you understand that? Yes? Now
Yes,
see, in this particular, picture, what actually I am trying to explain is that, see, in the first block, the background color is white and the moving object is in the brown color, or, Now, if there is some error, then some prediction error comes here. The moving object well encoded with the motion vector, the background well encoded, no motion with no motion vector, well encoded, and the prediction error comes here, right? So real moving objects will not coincide with the boundaries of macro blocks. Okay, so these are the blocks which you can see. Okay, now motion compensation, how the motion compensation is being done. This these two images, these being glued together frame is called motion compensated frames, and the encoder can also form the difference between the motion compensated frame and the actual frame. Now this is called motion compensated difference frame, the frame which you see here. Should I go back to explain you? See, this was the frame we were talking about. Okay, this is first movement, second movement, final movement. This is motion compensated block we are talking about. So how it has been calculated? The encoder can form the difference between the motion compensated frame and the actual frame. So this is called the motion compensated difference frame, and this difference frame formed using MC should have less correlation between pixels than the difference frame formed. Okay, now motion compression difference frame, if we talk about, then suppose we are talking about the lossless coding. Again, I'm sorry, lossless and lossy, I think in the sometime in the previous class I explained you, and one more entire class will be based on lossless and lossy, but here I just want to give you one reference that there are two ways if we talk about audio, because right now we are talking about video, but there are compression techniques, different compression techniques are there, and we can do the noise reduction also. Now, there are two methods. One is the lossless and one is the lossy. Okay. Now, lossless, you are there is some sample and you get the output. I'll give you one demonstration, so you can easily understand that what is the basic difference between one audio clip and another audio clip. So one would be lossy and one would be lossless, right? So it is all about noise reduction. So it is all about how you can reduce the noise from one audio clipping and how you can compress and decompress, and again you can regain that. And same thing here also we are applying now, because we are talking about so I hope this thing is clear to everybody. So if we are doing this type of a thing, then encoder has the sequence of frame fn minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 1, and so on till encode fn. Now past frames have been lossless encoded, so the decoder knows that fn minus is perfectly already. So encoder sends the motion vector for frame Fn relative to frame n-1 to form motion compensated frame Mn. Okay, so now the encoder knows Mn and decoder also knows Mn, and that's how the difference motion compensation is been performed. See, this is one again example of motion compensation example which is given here. Okay, fine. Okay, now the difference which has been formed here is encoder forms the motion compensated different frame, and the formula is given here MCDN Fn minus Mn, and with no motion compensated encoder could do different frames, and the formula is given here. So encoder losslessly encodes and encoder losslessly encode FDN, and here it is MCDN. Decoder can also do. Now, what actually is the idea? What actually we have to learn here, that if the successive frames are similar, check out the, the formula which is given here. Now, fewer bits to send motion vector plus MCDN instead of FDN, fewer bits to send FDN instead of FN. Okay, so this is what we have find out, that how to encode different frames. Okay, now look at the picture. Look at the picture. See, if one is the reference frame, another one is the original frame. Motion compensated frame is the third one, as you can see, and difference frame is this one between the two. Okay, क्योंकि दोनों में अगर आप देखें थोड़ा बहुत फर्क है. So this one is the difference frame, this one is the motion compensated frame. Is it okay? And finally, motion compensated difference image is gone. Hello, am I audible?
Ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 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 I'm just directly coming to the philosophy of motion estimation. So the goal of motion estimation is not to provide a careful analysis of the actual motion. Then what is the goal? The goal is to achieve a given quality of representation of the video while globally minimizing the bitrate required to send. Right? So whenever we are doing the estimation, whenever we are compressing it, decompressing it, we're sending the videos, creating a project, we have to understand that how the motion estimation should take place. The motion information and the prediction error information also is the goal. So while you are minimizing, the motion information and the prediction error information also has to be sent. Okay. Now, motion compensation for chrominance, the luminance is highly correlated more than chrominance. The best motion vectors are available by searching in the luminance plane, and motion vectors for chrominance are not computed separately, similarly scaled as needed. Okay, so let us talk about the summary. So at the encoder, for each block in the frame being coded, examine the search window. Okay, now in the reference frame to find the best match block, and for the MC different images equals to form the MC different image equals to original image minus motion compensated image. Then after scale the motion vector for the chrominance, form the motion compensated chrominance frame, and from the chrominance difference image. Okay. Now at the decoder, the decoder decode the reference images YCRCB, and each block is temporally coded Y frame, uses the motion vector to select a block from the reference frame and glue it in the place. Add the Y difference image. For each block in temporally coded CRCB frames, first scale the motion vector and then do the previous two steps with the CR and CB data. So I hope this thing is clear to everybody. Okay, and one more thing I want to tell you here, that DTP or desktop publishing and the technology is something which you really have to understand. If you think that without learning, without doing your homework, you can come, it's not possible. Okay, now let us see how we progress in video compression. As you can see here, one frame, okay, and this is one particular graph that you see here, and here you see that how this particular uh, frame is been encoded. Okay, so it is written, there is a picture of a foreman. Now it has been processed at 10 hertz, QCIF, 100 frames encoded, for one particular, picture. These many frames been encoded. Now, as you can see, what actually I want to say is, so there must be a question that what is QCIF? So QCIF is basically image or videos are 176 pixel wide and 144 pixel tall. So what we say, 176 into 144 pixels. So the name quarter CIF is written as QCIF. Is this thing clear? And the resolution is 4 times smaller than the CIF resolution, that is 352 by 288 pixels. Is this thing clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So here if you see the picture, then it is written 100 frames are encoded for one this thing. Okay, now you see this video compression, how the video compression begins. As you can see by the graph, that the compensation rate is given here, and then the coding, the DCT coding of JPG is done here. That is also, so this is a picture of a mother and daughter. Again, the QCIF 100 frames are encoded for this, and you can see the bit rate also in kbps is given, that what will be the bit rate on which particular picture will be encoded, compress, and then sent. Okay, now another picture, this is the mobile and calendar. This mobile and calendar 10 hertz QCIF, and again 100 frames encoded, as you can see. And see, quality wise, you can see quality changes accordingly. Sorry, quality changes here. Now let us try to understand what do we mean by temporal location of the reference. Okay, so the reference frame need not occur before the temporally coded frames which we use. When what we need to understand here is that when we are creating or working with videos, then we sometimes, the back frame remains the same, the objects which are there, they remains the same, there is some movement in the scene, but suddenly what happens, day converted to night, so the scene changes, right? So why scene changes? Because it allows better matches. So it is, gradually you see when you actually moving to it to change some frame, then as you can see from 1 to 2, the arrows are also showcasing here that how the frames are moving from one place to the other. Now there are different type of motion estimations which been done. Why I'm talking about motion estimation, because whenever you're working with the video, I'm not talking about the picture, whenever you're talking about the live video, or maybe you are working with something which is moving object and you are capturing that, then you have to definitely, while compression, you have to take care of that, while again you have to decoding or encoding, that's what we say, you have to take care. And if some correction is required later on, then at least you should be able to calculate it also, that how the motion estimation is done. So there are different methods of doing motion estimation. Number one is the forward predicted blocks, number two is backward predicted blocks, number three is interpolatively predicted block. And so in the forward, we say the best match block occur in the reference frame before the block frame. In the backward, best match block occurs in the reference frame after the blocks frame. And third one, interpolatively predicted blocks. The best match block is the average of the best match block from reference frame before and after. The motion compensation direction can be selected independently for each block in a frame. So these are the various methods by which you can do the motion estimation. Now let us see. Uh, these are the MPEG frame type. Okay, Priyanshu, pay attention. Now, in this, they're coded by themselves as still images. So there is no temporal coding and no motion vector. Okay, temporal coding only happens when things are moving. So there is no movement. So there is no motion vector. So from one image to the final image, this is happening. Okay. Now, but forward motion compensation, if we are using, then first one, it is in the forward motion is compensated from the previous IRP frame. So as you can see, some intermediate frames being generated, and finally, the different frames being generated. Okay. Now, motion compensated interpolated pictures, forward, backward, and interpolatively motion compensated from previous, next, and frames are given here. Okay, as you can see here, MPEG frame type. Okay, now the question arises, how are the motion vectors actually encoded the transmission to the decoder? As I was discussing you, that you have to start taking the difference between the current motion vector and the most recent previous one of the same type in the forward, backward, and interpolative method, and encode the difference by using variable length coding. Horizontal and vertical components are coded separately, and that's how you will be using the motion vector coding, and you can find out that how the motion vectors are encoded. Okay, now there are some MPEG frame structure terminologies that we have to understand. A block contain 8 by 8 pixel. Okay, that's the DCT unit. The macro block, which we have used earlier, it contains 4 blocks for the luminance plus corresponding chrominance block. I think you understand what do we mean by luminance and chrominance. I took the pixels, so you know that what does it mean. I'm not taking that right now. Okay, now 4 blocks for each CRCB is 4:4:4 format, and 2 blocks 4:2:2 format. 1 block is 4:1:1 or 4:2:0 format. Okay, so these are some of the frame structure terminologies which everyone should know. Okay, so if we asking about what is macro block, so you should immediately say that the 4 blocks are for luminance plus the corresponding chrominance blocks are there. They are known as the macro block. Is this thing clear? Yes. Okay. Now,
Yes,
if I talk about slice, what do we mean by slice? So slice is the collection of greater than 1 frame and the unit of random access into the sequence. So I think the terminologies are very much clear to you. Okay. Okay. So I'm actually I'll be continuing it. I'm stopping it here at the MPEG frame structure terminology. This will continue in the next class also. I understand because this is a new topic for all of you, that till now what you have done, you have gone to some utility, you have converted that and you have got it, and you have not bothered that what is happening behind the scene, what is happening to the image. So you were never bothered. But now as a technical student, as you understand that there are so much going on behind the encoding and decoding thing, and since already these algorithms been there, you just go to some free online site and you convert. So you feel it's not my business, I don't want to know that what is happening. But as a CS student, you must know that how these things happen. Okay, so I'm stopping my share here. Please remember, we have stopped at MPEG frame structure terminology, and we'll continue this lecture in the next class also. Okay, just a minute. uh, there are few things which you have to understand, that you have to prepare these with the terminologies also, and you have to remember that these are very very much important from the examination point of view also, and otherwise also for your general knowledge. This is very much important. So I hope you'll pay attention in the next class. When you come back, I'm sending this PPT your way. Okay, you find out minute details, find out questions, ask yourself why this, why that, and come up with the lots of questions in the next class. Each PPT, there has to be at least one question from your side, that ma'am, why this is so, why this is so, why this is so. I want to see so many whys. Okay, and next time when you come to the class. Okay, thank you so much for joining my class.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
हेलो मैम। मैम
सुजीत, आप मुझे कॉल कर लें बेटा प्लीज, है ना?
मैम